What's up, guys? Intelitech Studios here, and today we're going to do a review on the third and final Fantom that I currently own, which is the 12 amp Fantom Fury. I already did a review on this 10 amp Fantom Fury right here, and I also did a review on my Kenmore Destiny Plus, which is very similar in design to a Phantom Thunder. Basically, it's a Phantom Thunder that's had the name licensed to Sears Kenmore, presumably for some sort of incentive besides them just being sold in their stores under their own brand. So these two are the actual Phantoms that I own, or I should say, I guess, branded as Phantoms. And these are both Furies, as you can obviously tell. Now, the Fantom Fury is one of my favorite vacuum cleaners of all time. It's one out of two. This Fantom Fury is one of my favorite vacuum cleaners in my collection, along with this Bissell Power Glide Platinum. Because for the longest of time, the two vacuums that I wanted the most in my collection were the Fantom Fury and the Power Glide Platinum. And now I have both of them, which is wonderful. Not perfect though, because this Fury works perfectly. This one doesn't. And I would still like to get my hands on the later version of this that is in the orange color, like the orangey coppery color, but still a standard Fury. I don't like I don't as much as these original Furies like the special editions with the headlight or the limited editions with the weird Dyson DC-40 style hose handle, because honestly at that point you might as well just buy a crosswind, assuming you can find a crosswind. Obviously the Fury is going to be easier to find, but I would rather have a crosswind because at least those are more interesting than just yet another version of the Fury, because there's like 6 or 7 different versions of the Fury that exist. And I have two of them right here. I have the original 10 amp Fantom Fury. This one's from 97, and then I have an original 12 amp Fantom Fury. This one's from 2000. So, and currently my 10 amp is plugged in, and I don't use my 10 amp very often, and this is why. Yeah, doesn't exactly sound the healthiest, does it? It works good. The suction is great, and the brush roll has issues, but I re-lubricated it, and it's fine now. And I do have a spare Fury brush roll, thankfully. Um, but either way, so I don't use either of these for really anything. In fact, this one I've only turned on like twice, and even then I regret it because since I turned it on and ran it, there's like some dust along this seam of the dirt container, which I do not like because I like things being super clean. And yeah, but again, I still would like to find the orange variant, but I still really like this machine. Between these two machines, assuming this one was fully working, I would still prefer the 12 amp because I like the design a little bit better. I like the fact the logo is actually printed on instead of a sticker, especially because I think this sticker is a little bit crooked. But, this just feels higher quality. I like the clearer bin. I like the color accents a little bit better. So I like all that on the 12 amp more. I like how it advertises the HEPA filter. I like how, compared to the 10 amp, like this one has like a textured plastic finish. It's still like a rubbery finish, and it does feel nice, but this one has a bit of a smoother finish, and I actually like this. It feels a bit sturdier. And you can tell that they've made like pretty good improvements going from the 10 to the 12 amp as far as the build quality. Also, the motors seem to be a lot stronger, which makes sense, as obviously this one's having issues, this one isn't. These ones, in my experience, tend to be pretty solid. But these are the only Furies I've ever had. This is the first Fury I've had, and this is the second Fury that I've had. I've already mentioned how I got this one in the 10 amp Fury review. I got this on Facebook Marketplace, and this one I got on eBay, and I did an unboxing of that on a live stream. And one thing that's cool is that this one came with all the attachments. You can see it has all the attachments. I did buy a second one of these little adapters, so if I get another Fury that's missing that, then I do have the tool caddy. This one didn't come with a dusting brush, but it came with the pet hair tool, which is really nice. But it didn't come with a holster. So anyone, if there's anyone out there who has a spare dusting brush and or the tool holster, so I can actually store this next to the dusting brush, and they'd like to sell it, please let me know, because I'd like to get that. So since I do have a spare tool caddy for another Fury if I get one, but I don't have that. I don't have the little add-on thing for the pet hair tool. And of course, since it's designed for the dusting brush, the pet hair tool doesn't go on there all the way. But it's still just fine. I'm not worried about that too much. And the brush roll on this is in really good condition. Everything else on this particular Fury is really good. Whenever I first got it, despite the fact that I paid a decent chunk of money for it on eBay, it was very badly clogged, and I made a video about unclogging it and repairing it and making it work nice. So that's really cool. So at least I was able to get it working, and now it runs beautifully. And I'm very happy to have it. I do love the Fury a lot more than the Thunder. Yes, the Thunder is built better, but I like the slimmer profile of the Fury. I like how it's lighter. It's not too much lighter. It's still a decently weighty machine. It's not as light as I thought it was. It is still a very sturdy built machine. It feels strong. If you take good care of it, it'll last you a good, 40 years. So, you just gotta make sure to treat it well. Just like I always say in every single vacuum video, just treat your vacuums well. And whoever had this, they clearly treated it very, very well. It looks like this thing got barely any use. So, see, and I'm kind of torn because I really want to use this vacuum because I really, really like this vacuum. But at the same time, if it breaks, trying to find another Fury is a pain. So I'm almost considering buying another one of this model because there is a couple of these on eBay still. I'm considering buying one of these and then using that and then just keeping this one unused and essentially as a mint condition collectible. But I'm not quite sure about that. Hopefully it's not too hard to see with all the sunlight. And in my closet it did get a little bit dusty, but it should be fine. Also, this one didn't have the headlight in it, so I took the headlight out of this one and I put it in here so it does have the headlight. So I'll need to get some more of those bulbs. This takes the same Dirt Devil style 4 and 5 belts, and as does the Thunder. The Thunder also takes the same belts as the Fury. So if you have some Dirt Devil style 4 and 5 belts, they will work on your Fury and Thunder. All the packaging that I see says that it works for the Fury, but usually they don't say it works for the Thunder and the domestic, but it does. It's all they take the same belts. I don't know why they didn't earmark it for the Thunder. I'm assuming because by that time the Thunder was already discontinued, so I guess they didn't bother with it, but I don't know. But yeah, so this is, again, it's one of my favorite vacuums. I like the design of the handle. I like the fact that it's a hose handle, and I guess if I take the cord off, really demonstrate that real quick. Well, I guess I can demonstrate on the 10 amp because it's the same. But I like how this is angled like this. It's more ergonomic than on the Thunder. It has the hand grip that's really nice, and this button, it's squeeze and go just like a Dyson. So you just pull this out, and it's really nice. Hose isn't as long as the Dyson, but I do actually have a hose extension that I bought. So if I wanted to actually use one of these, I do have a hose extension that I can put on it. So that's really nice. So anyways, and then of course this has the HEPA filter. Both of the HEPA filters on both of these machines are in excellent condition. So I won't need to buy any HEPA filters anytime soon. And then this one also is in pretty good shape. At least the pleats are. Some of the foam on this one is shifted, but it still pops in there just fine. But yeah, so also comparing the 12 to the 10 amp, I like the fluff trap on the 12 amp a lot better. I don't like this fluff trap up here. This is really kind of annoying to deal with. Whereas the fluff trap down here, much nicer. Just pull it out, super simple, slides back in. No big deal. And that's really nice. And of course you got the clean out port, which is always really, really handy in case you want to unblock it. and sometimes stuff will get stuck in there, although a lot of people say the Fury clogs more than the Thunder. In my experience, the Thunder clogs a lot more than the Fury, but I also don't do anything crazy with my vacuums anymore, so I'm not really in a position where I would clog up either of these. And you can see this one was manufactured on the 43rd week of 2000, according to that date code. I could be reading that wrong, so Fantom collectors, feel free to correct me if I am incorrect on that. And then this one, you can clearly see, is my 10 amp. And you can see this one, 10th week of 1997. And this one is actually an older one where it actually earmarks it as Iona Appliances and not as Fantom Technologies. So, interesting. This one's, both these are made in Canada, I think, right? Is this one made in Canada? Yes, made in Canada. Yep. So, good old Canadian viewers. I do have a friend who lives in Canada, so that's kind of cool. I will forward him this video, and he will probably not understand it at all. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to say about this other than I'm super happy to have it, and I'm so glad that it's working again, and I'm still on the hunt for an orange one, and as well as, you know, the other little parts. So I guess we'll plug it in real quick and give it a run. Another cool thing that I got is that in addition to that hose and everything, some dust on the front of this. In addition to the little accessories that I got for this, I also managed to snag a sealed copy of the Fantom Fury how-to video, and it is the matching 12 amp version. So I don't know if these are exactly collectible in the sense of like value-wise, like if these are worth anything. I got it on eBay for like $4. So, and it's still sealed in the packaging. I do not want to open it. I'll probably find another copy. I believe the Fantom how-to videos are already pretty well documented, so at least for the Fury. So I don't think I need to grab one and then hook my VCR up to a capture card and upload it, because I think that's already been covered by plenty of other people, most notably Fantom Lightning. And I wonder if he's watching my videos. I doubt it. But Fantom Lightning, if you're watching one of my videos, comment. That'd be great. Yeah, anyways, so yeah, there's really not much else to say about this, and I guess we'll give it a run real quick. I wonder if I could find the cord. These had cord clips, right? I know the Thunders had cord clips. I've never seen a Fury cord clip, and I'm sure those exist, right? I didn't even think about that till just now. Oh well. Of course, I have a really high pile carpet, so this is always a pain in the ass to push, just like most vacuums that I run on this carpet, but whatever. I don't know why this button is always loose on these. Did it get anything? so satisfying. But yeah, so I just vacuumed this yesterday with the PowerTrack Revolution, and and this thing still managed to get up some dust and fluff. Now this has a bit of a dusty smell to it. Probably, I'm assuming this must have been put in storage for quite a while. But I actually kind of like the dusty smell. If it, as weird as that sounds, like it sounds so bizarre. But I don't know what it is. It's just smells like old tech. It's 90s dust. That's what I'm smelling. I'm smelling the late 90s, early 2000s dust. I don't know. I don't know. This video went weird fast. Anyways, so there's not much else I can really say about this. I mean, this is obviously not a vacuum that you're going to be buying, so it's kind of hard to review it from a normal consumer perspective. Obviously, I would never recommend using one of these as a daily driver. Now, I'm only considering doing it because I'm crazy, and because if I was going to do it, I would buy a third Fury or just fix up that one and use that one. Which, yes, I know people would freak out because you're using the 10 amp and not the 12. Whatever. Since this one is in worse condition than this one, if I got this one to not sound like shit, I would probably, or if I got this one to not sound bad, then I would definitely want to use this one. Again, not day, because I don't stick to any vacuum. I have so many vacuums. Like seriously, look at this crap. Like, I have so many vacuums. So many vacuums that I do not stick to a single vacuum for any sort of long period of time. So if I was going to use a Fury, it would be like once every 3 months I'd probably use it to clean my house. But at the same time, that's still too much for this because this is in such good condition and I don't want to ruin it. You see the dilemma that I have? I want someone to just start making these damn things again so I don't have to worry. I can just buy a brand new one and just use it and not have to worry about it, because this is truly out of every bagless vacuum that I've owned, this is one of the best that I've ever used, in my opinion. It's lightweight enough, it's maneuverable enough, it agitates really well. That's the key, because this filter's as good as a Dyson. But at the same time, it doesn't have the issues with the agitation, the brush roll that Dysons do. So it has the same good dual cyclonic technology that Dysons have, at least the early Dysons. Yet it actually has a brush roll that agitates the carpet properly. And they're trying to find a machine that has that is just so rare nowadays. And, there's really nothing on the market like it. And also, this is it's an easily maneuverable machine. One thing that I know people are going to comment on this, they're going to say, but what about the workhorse? What about the clear track? Yes, I'm aware of the workhorse and I'm aware of the clear track. But from what I hear, those machines are like 30 pounds. So anyone who owns a clear track or a workhorse, I would assume it's about the same weight as a Thunder. That'd be my guess. But I want something closer to this weight, ideally even a little bit lighter, because this is it is heavy, it is well built, but it's not cumbersome, and it's easy enough to where I can maneuver it, because I have issues with really heavy vacuums. So it has enough height adjustments, it has a good headlight, just the fact that it has one. No Dyson has a headlight. The fact that it has a dual cyclonic technology, while the availability of parts is bad because this has been off the market for so long, the actual repairability of it is very good. You can completely disassemble this entire thing very easily with a screwdriver, and it's easy to work on for the most part. Now granted, I've never taken one of these down to the motor, so maybe the motor itself is very difficult to service. I don't know, because while I have been fixing vacuums for 14 years at this point, I've never actually worked on a Fantom. I worked on Dysons, Bissell, Eureka, whatever brand you can think of, but I haven't worked on Fantoms. So I haven't worked on the original Iona Phantoms. I think I may have worked on one or two Europro Phantoms, but I've never worked on an original Iona Phantom, at least not to that extent. So I could be wrong on that front, but it's good enough for me. Everything about this machine is just good enough to where it's the closest to being perfect for a bagless machine. Because granted, a lot of times I do prefer bagged machines, and that's where that machine steps in. That's why I like having two favorite vacuums. I have the bagless one that's a bit more industrial and a little bit, more durable, and then I have the consumer grade bagged machine that has a decent amount of features, is lightweight, and is relatively inexpensive. So I have that balance. And this is just, it's just hard to describe because I really like this machine, but at the same time, I can't use it because I don't want to use it. You see the dilemma that I'm in? Someone, please just buy up the designs of this thing and start making these again because honestly, like I would pay $400 for this. If someone was selling these brand new and they were selling these brand new for $400, for three four. I mean the clear track or the workhorse is what, 320 I think, 350 something like that. If someone could start manufacturing these again and sell it for 350, I would buy it in a heartbeat. But no one's doing that, so that kind of makes me sad. So again, the cord is very nice. It has a nice long cord. It's easy to service. It has a bare floor tool, so yes, while it doesn't do great on bare floors by itself, it has a bare floor tool that's included and rides on board, which is really nice. So you can still easily use it on bare floors out of the box without having to buy any additional accessories, which is nice. And again, you have the pet hair tool, which again, this one doesn't have the dusting brush on board, but of course I do have one on this one, so I do have a dusting brush I can use, just doesn't ride on board on this Fury at least. So again, if anyone has one of those adapters and they want to sell it, I would gladly buy it. So anyways, this video has probably gotten long enough, but I'm just kind of ranting and raving and rambling about the Fury, and I'm just super happy to have it, and I wish that there was something comparable to this that was still on the market, because the market was truly cornered back in the day. And of course, like even for those who had Dyson, even people in the UK who had Dysons, this is basically the American version of the Dyson DC-03 because it's the cheaper, more budget, more lightweight, thinner design of the industrial upright, which would be the Thunder or the DC-01. So people in the UK have often had the same sentiment, like, hey, the 03 is really nice. Why don't they make this in a modern equivalent? I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling. Probably the closest thing I can think of to a machine that we got here, in a similar sort of form factor, is the DC-18, the Dyson Slim. And those are really hard to find as well. I still am messaging a bunch of people trying to find a DC-18, and none of them are responding to me, like on OfferUp and stuff. And none of them are responding to me. One guy, we actually made a deal, and then he just went ghost right when right when I bought it. So, or right when we agreed on a price and I was about to buy it and I sent him an offer, then he just stopped responding, which is really frustrating. Anyways, this video has gone way too long and just completely gone off topic of this vacuum. But that's what you get. So, anyway guys, this is Intelitech Studios signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is my review of the 12 amp Fantom Fury dual cyclonic bagless upright vacuum. And yeah, I want to get the orange one. I want to get a Cyclone XT, and maybe I would get a Lightning. I'm not a fan of canisters, but if I get a Lightning, I'd probably get a Lightning if I was able to get it for a decent price. But I wouldn't pay a ton for a Lightning. Either way, I like Phantoms, so that's cool. And yeah, there's not much else I can really think of to mention other than yeah. So this was Intelitech Studios with my review of the. I already said all that. Okay, this review is weird. If you guys have a Phantom Fury, then let me know in the comments below. And if anyone knows how I can fix my 10 amp Fury, I'm assuming the bearings are dried out. I could be wrong though. I have yet to open that up and look at it, but if anyone has had a similar issue with that, they can let me know perhaps, because I'd like to get that working. Because like I said, if I can get this one working, then I'll probably use this one and keep this one nice and fresh. Since that one has some cracks on the bottom and everything, so and whereas this one's perfect and I don't want it to get damaged. So yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this wasn't too boring, but yeah, have a good one.